Alex Gill with Anime on Location, and we're here at Canterlot Gardens with Andrew Francis.
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. How did you first get into the world of voice acting?
Wow, quite a long time ago, actually. When I was 9 years old, I went for my first audition for a show called Sammy the Squirrel. And so I was auditioning for Sammy. It was a place called Ocean Studios in Vancouver that we do a lot of anime at. And I went in there, and I was just a little young buck, and I had actually done commercials from 6 to 9 years old, and I got braces. And so I knew that I couldn't do any more on-screen like cereal commercials because they're like, "What's wrong with your teeth?" or whatever. And so I decided to go into the voice acting world, and I went to my first audition, which was Sammy the Squirrel, and booked Sammy, which was a 3-day role. And did that with Carl Willems, who's one of the voice directors who does a lot of the stuff at Ocean, and did that, and that sort of broke me in. Ocean did a lot of stuff back then. They were one of the premier studios, and still are, but they were doing a heck of a lot of stuff, and so we started doing shows through them. And through the teenage years, there weren't a lot of teenage voice actors. They had a lot of women to play younger roles, so they were really looking for a guy who could do what I did. And so I got to work on a lot of shows, and I got to learn from some of the best.
Can you tell us about some of your roles in anime? Maybe some stuff about Escaflowne, Mobile Suit Gundam, one of my personal favorites.
Sure, yeah. Well, Mobile Suit was super fun. That was Azrael, yes? Was that in 00? Because there was a few different 00, yeah, right? Let's just say it was. Azrael was Azrael was quite a crazy character, and that kind of leads into the character from Escaflowne. Delandau was one of the craziest characters I've ever played, and I was given the opportunity by Carl Willems. He actually didn't hold any auditions. He called me up and said, "Hey, I have this role for you, and I know we're probably gonna get a little bit of controversy because you're quite a young voice actor gonna play it. So if you can really step up to the plate, let's do the show first, and then the movie will come after." And so we started on the series, and the character was very out there. One of his big lines is, "Burn!" You know, because he was just constantly killing people. So it was quite an experience to play a character like that at such a young age. And then when we went and did the movie, he had an even crazier, more psychotic part, and that was even more fun to play. So that came sort of after the series, where I'd sort of grown up a little bit, so I felt I could actually sort of fill the character a little bit more than maybe I had in the series, although the series went well as well. But Escaflowne was probably, when people ask, one of the most fun parts playing Delandau that I've ever had, just because I got to go so out there and just show so much psychotic energy that you usually don't really get to show, you know?
Yeah. All right. So, what brings you? Oh. The things you forget.
Right.
What brings you to a My Little Pony convention?
Well, I've been to one before. I went to the Everfree Northwest in Seattle, and I play the latest character, and the character I'm most known for is Shining Armor, in the last 2 episodes of the 2nd season. And I sort of had heard that there were conventions and that this whole fandom, the bronies, that existed. And I sort of talked to Lee, and I talked to Peter and Kathy and Tara and stuff like that, and I asked, what are you guys doing? Like, can I come? Can I do this thing? And so I kind of sort of slipped my way in there, and luckily enough, I have a very lovable character. I mean, Shining Armor is that big brother, right? And so I just asked if I could come and join and say hello to the group, and I went to the first one, and I've just been having a blast ever since.
All right. Awesome. So, do you just like hanging out with the bronies, or are you a really big fan of the show? Or?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't seen a lot of the show. I've seen 6, 7, 8 episodes, which is actually, I sat down on the computer, I watched my episode, and I was like, I really like this. I'm going to start watching more. So I didn't have a lot of time to actually start watching it all, but I will watch the whole series. And I love hanging out with the bronies, with all of you guys and girls. The love and the attention, and it's just so much fun to sort of be immersed in such a fandom of people that are just so, it's just such a positive fandom, you know what I mean? Because you can find a lot of different fandoms that are not as giving and as generous and stuff like that, and that's what really brought me to this fandom, is that I love the generosity and the friendliness, friendship is magic, and I've now experienced that. All right.
How are you enjoying your time here at Canterlot Gardens? What has the experience been like?
It's been absolutely awesome. Everyone has been just so, like I said, generous and giving and kind. I've gotten gifts and pins and things and hats and all these awesome things, and I'm loving it. I can't wait for next year. Well, I'm loving this year, but I can't wait to do it again.
All right. Is there any way that fans can keep up with what you're working on online or through other means?
Myself and Lee Tokar, actually, we do a show called Slug Terra, which is on Disney XD, which just got released about a week ago. And it's on every, I think it's 3:30 on Disney XD. That's one of the new shows we're doing. If you want to sort of get updates or keep up to date with the stuff that we're doing, my Twitter is at Drew Francis 604, so that's at DREWFRANCIS 604, and Lee Tokar, who I work with all the time, is at Lee Tokar, so you should follow him as well. But that would be the best way, at Drew Francis 604, and I leave all my updates. I take little pictures from the studio. A lot of the times things are top secret, but at least you get a little glimpse into our voiceover world.
All right, sounds great. Do you have any final messages you'd like to send to the fans out there?
Above everything else, and this is the message that I always love sending, is just saying thank you. And that's right. That's an inside joke. No, just saying thank you. You guys and girls, gentle coats and what is it, fawns and gentle coats, yes? I want to say thank you so much for your fandom and just being so giving and so generous. And, you make, I mean, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And I'm getting a little teary here. But I really appreciate everything that you've done for us. And we just love coming and saying hello.
Right. Andrew Francis, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.